questions.
Okay. Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. We brought for your consideration today the surplus of about 68 acres of the recreational complex. We have the map up on the screen there. You recognize the ball fields and the parking lot coming in on your right-hand side of the screen. And to the west side of the property, there's quite a bit of wetland. There is one little hill back in there that's got about 10 acres of field, open field that you see about where it says Madison County, Florida, there. And I met with Tommy a while back, and we did have a landowner, an adjacent landowner, approach us about six months ago or so and asked us if we would be interested in selling that. So I got with Tommy and we rode out there and looked at it and tried to see if is there something for the future that we could envision on that property as part of the recreation complex. And really, we really couldn't come up with anything that we could see in the future a need for that property. So we thought we would bring it to you for consideration of surplus. We could take that money and then reinvest it into something that would be more of an asset for the county. Access into the property, if we sell it and it's not to one of the adjacent property owners, we could put an easement down our northern property line there to bring the person onto the 68 acres so you'd have access out to the public road. Does the board have any questions on it, or do y'all have any ideas of what we could use the property for? Like I said, Tommy and I went out there and if you add up all the upland acres, you might be able to squeeze out about 18 or 20, with 10 being in that main field. There's right around the corners of the property, there's some uplands, but most of it's all wetlands.
And there are spots in the open field, there's 3 spots that'll hold water, probably holding water now, those spots.
So there's not really any good access between the sports complex and it.
No, sir, not without a lot of work. I mean, off road and you can get back there, but as far as easy access, no, sir.
It came as part of the property purchase, and it's kind of like what the Water Management District has done over the last several years. They take a look at it, and you know, when you buy a property, sometimes you got to buy the whole piece, and so then you come back and look at it and go, well, is that really what we need, you know, long term? And so you start offering those up for surplus, and you can put them back on the tax rolls.
Now, we're talking about what's in the blue square?
Yes, sir, in the blue square on the western side.
And that would be the easement. Unless it's bought by landowner right next door to it, he's got access.
We can, and what I'd like to offer is that we put it up for auction on the website. With y'all's approval today, if you say yes, we can go ahead and surplus it, we can advertise it on the website under the auction. We can always bring what the price, you know, what it brings. We can bring it back to the board, and the board can accept it or deny it. So we're not locked in on that on the bids. So we would be bringing it back to you today. All we're asking for is your thoughts and permission to put it out for sale.
Is there timber and all on that?
Most of those wetlands have been logged before. As you can see those little tracks, you see the little lines through the wetlands. Most of it has been logged, so there's really not a lot of timber value on it.
Cypress or pine.
Well, I know that the adjacent landowner, I know who, and I know that he's interested in it, or has expressed an interest in it. And I'll have no problem offering it up on the auction. Would recommend it.
Do we need to put an appraisal on that, or a minimum bid, or?
So what's the price? That's $75,000.
I think y'all are free to do that how you want. Yeah, obviously you want to try to get the fair value out of it. You want to do that through an appraisal or however. Generally, you're talking about 68 acres. So, I mean, an appraisal will cost you some money. And so in the past, we've been reluctant to do appraisals when it was a quarter acre or something, because the cost of the appraisal is really more than, what you can get out of it. With this, you may decide you want to do that, it's a little bit bigger piece of property, maybe something that will better value. You might want to put it out there and see what kind of interest you have before you can decide to do an appraisal. If nobody wants to bid on it, then you probably won't make an appraisal. If you've got some interest, yeah, you want to do that.
Well, if we don't have a need for it, it's not in our vision for the future, why do we need to hold on to it?
I mean, I can't see any need in the future without having to put a lot of funds into it. That's what we're gonna raise cattle.
Yeah, well.
Mr. Chairman, it'd be my motion that we will put this out for bid and see what kind of interest is out there and go from there.
I'll second that.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Do we need to put an appraisal on it? I mean, do we need to do that based on what we just heard?
I think maybe we need to see what we get in first and then look at the appraisal. And we always can look back at too, what we paid for it. I don't remember back when we did, we looked at that too.
Now, was that part of the purchase with grant money? Are there any stipulations still tied to that you were aware of?
It's been too long. In my memory, it was purchased with that, with just general fund money, but it's been too long, I wouldn't trust that. But I think it was just that, it was general fund money. We probably have to
Check
look at
that.
that and see.
Look at that before we ever tell them.
Well, you can still sell it there regardless, but the money would have to go back into a specific pot if you did the grant. There was not I don't believe we reported anything about you couldn't sell it, you couldn't do anything with it. Normally, grants have those kinds of stipulations.
Right.
Now, what we may have done, we probably do need to look at it this way, that the purchase of the property, I think, was general fund money, but now we use FERDAP grants to develop that, I think.
Yes.
And then those FERDAP grants, you record notices in the public record, and those prohibit you from doing anything with it for a certain amount of time. I don't remember how much. So we probably do need to check that out.
I think it was
What
10
was
years,
that?
I think.
Was it 10? You remember when we did this? When we
2001,
Okay.
2000.
So,
Okay, so
The
10
land was probably purchased in 99 or 2000.
All right. So we should be, that 10 years should have run.
what was the FERDAP grant specifically?
November
Was it
15th,
for the
2001,
that
when it was purchased.
entire?
I want to say the FERDAP grants were used for the development and construction of the actual park, not necessarily for the purchase of the land.
I'm sure it wasn't just for purchase of the land. But what we did was, when you have to record that notice, you have to have a legal description on it. So I'm sure if we did that, we put the legal description for the whole thing, because otherwise we would have had to have gotten a survey and a different legal description on just the approved part. So if there is a lien out there for FERDAP grants,
156.34 acres, $75,000
Probably get that before we advertise.
was the whole kit and caboodle. Well, it's right there in front of you, isn't it?
Prior-
I was just going by memory.
Have council bring back a recommendation.
Well,
Well, we can go ahead and do it.
If there isn't a lien or anything,
There's not a lien on it.
And also on the appraisal, that can be done as part of the purchase. At the time, if somebody does, in doing, negotiation on price and sale and purchase, could be done at that time too. And that might be a negotiation factor for the future buyer.
Could have a realtor on board.
Did he just amend his motion there to check that prior to?
Check it prior to advertising.
Second, yeah, I'll approve it.
You're approving the amendment.
Yeah, you got it on the foot.
Keyword on it.
All right, so he made an amendment to check the grants, the grant requirements prior to putting the property out for bid and seeing what interest is out there and going from there. That's the-
And actually, rather than say put it out to bid, why don't we just put notice that the property is available for an offer?
He's gonna have to amend that account.
Because that's a bid that indicates that they can, you know, the high, will give the high bid and all that.
We need to vote on the amended part.
You're gonna vote on these
We'll vote on the amendment,
amendments
then vote on the original motion.
first. Right, so you're gonna amend the original.
I think that's up to the chairman, what, I think normally what we've done, if it's been amended earlier in the process, I guess you just do one vote, which I'll go ahead and.
Just they put out for offer, was that your terminology, or the bid?
That it would be advertised for, so we would accept offers, so we would entertain offers.